mad chilling. We got time. Do you have let's do this. Let's do our final thoughts regarding DC, the future of it, right and wrong. Let's not go too long with it, but like a little, let's say like 3 to 5 minute mini rant. You can go first.
Like I said, I've been talking
Keep it
about
close
this
to
whole
the mic.
time. Really pissed they got rid of Henry Cavill. After seeing Peacemaker, if you guys been keeping up with us at all, I know I've talked very highly of that. So that being said, I have to give James Gunn a shot because that was just a masterpiece of a show. And if he could do that with those characters that nobody cared about, then I'm really intrigued to see what he'll do with the cast of people that we do care about. Because he did the same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy as well. So I do have to give him the room to do, you know what I mean, to bring his vision to life. But I like I said, until I've seen it and the 10 years is over, I don't imagine I'm going to say, you know what I mean? I'm going to say, like, you could have did that with Henry Cavill. But it's really important to see who they're going to cast moving forward. Those are who the new Superman's going to be.
Those are big shoes.
Batman are going to be. I think those at this point in time might even be more important than the script. If he picks the wrong person before the movie comes out, it could ruin it. And I'm been intrigued to see which story they pick. Avengers, whatever they picked, Thanos, and I don't know if they're going to do Injustice or some kind of Dark Side or Crisis on Two Earths, whatever. Right. But I hope they pick something intriguing that we all can get behind.
Yes.
DC has great stories, and I think they should go back to nobody needs their own movie except for Superman and Batman.
I agree.
Like we don't need to see an Aquaman movie anymore. We know their lore.
Yeah. And James Gunn is really good at doing that.
Yes, and if you really want to give him some lore, put it at the end of a movie, at a cutscene, or the beginning of the Justice League movie. You could do a scene or two about Cyborg and fucking Wonder Woman or whatever. But that would be my mini rant is like, all right, we're done with these side movies. You tried to be like Marvel, and it worked for them. You guys didn't execute it right, and it's just like we only want to see Superman and Batman, and you guys fucked that up for 10 years. Like. While you were putting out other stupid movies that nobody cared.
One-offs.
Yeah. So like I said, no more other movies. We need a new Batman and Superman movie ASAP.
Yes.
That both lead into some bigger.
Your Thanos.
Bigger movie, Avengers type
fill
movie.
In your 10-year plan.
And get it rolling. Sooner rather than later.
Before I say my mini rant, a little tidbit from his thing. If James Gunn or DC in general wants to do like their solo movies instead of doing a solo movie for Aquaman, Cyborg, etc., do a 6-part miniseries on fucking HBO.
I guess that's a good point too. Yeah,
just
with
do
the
that.
TV
If you
show's
could do
fine.
That,
if you want to, if you really
if you have a good story that you really want to tell, put it on HBO. The fans will go watch it.
I think that's a better formula than to a movie because then. Like, people won't watch your movie because they're like, oh, it's been out for 2 months. Nobody's watched it. Bombed. But, if it's just sitting on HBO Max, people will eventually watch it.
Yeah, the fans are definitely going to watch it. Yes. Fans will watch it. And even if people don't see it, like casuals, it's not going to affect the overall thing.
And I think people, like, the casuals ruin it for the fans because they're like, all the casuals go and see the movie when it comes out. And they're like, it sucked. And then the person's like, oh, I'm not going to waste my time.
Yeah. But okay, so my rant. I am hopeful, regardless of what social media is saying. James Gunn has taken on the extremely difficult task of picking up the slack of DC and the state it's in, and he's making hard choices. So I am taking everything with half glass full regarding him. He was able to make nobody characters into something, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. But it also comes at a thin is like, okay, we didn't know much about that, so you have more liberty and freedom to kind of make a good story to make us interested. But now you're taking on characters that I love, that he loves, that we all love, that we know so much about, and it's going to be a harder task. You can't be at liberty to kind of give your James Gunn flair of it too much to where you take away from those stories, because we don't know much about Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy as much. They were like way back when B-list, C-list characters. But I am hopeful, and I am really, the main reason I'm hopeful is because when I saw the Justice League Unlimited, and then he mentioned Young Justice, that gave me hope is we're definitely seeing a fucking Robin after 20 years.
I didn't hear the Young Justice. That, like I said, we've talked about this all the time. They really need to take their cue from the animated.
Yes.
So, they are amazing.
Yes.
All of them, the Superman ones, the Batman ones, the Justice League ones, the Young Justice, they're all just gold. So I do think he'd be smart to try and play on some of their storylines, some of their arcs.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see a Robin. That's what I'm really excited about because I mean it's overdue. It's really you saw my tangent on TikTok and when James Gunn came back, but I think like Sean said, I will agree. If they cast the right people, then I don't think there will be much wrong with it. There's going to be complaints along the way, but we've complained about Marvel and everything. But overall, they've had a successful run, and I think James Gunn will do majority of the things correct. It is coming at a price though, where he's understanding the pressure. I actually would like to read a quote from him. Actually, damn, I'm good at this. I'm pulling it up right now, but it was a quote I saw from Instagram, and I really give him praise for this because he has taken on like a huge task and he understands it, so he takes everything face front. Alrighty, he said, disrespectful outcry will never ever affect our actions. We are aware there would be a period of turbulence when we took this gig, and we knew we would sometimes have to make difficult and not so obvious choices, especially in the wake of the fictitious nature of what became before us. But this means a little to us in comparison to our jobs as artists and custodians in helping to create a wide and wonderful future for DC. And that's what kind of gave me hope for it. When I read that, I was like, all right, he understands like the shit he's doing right now. Like, Jesus Christ, like, what are you doing, my guy? But he's thinking a 10-year plan. He's not thinking, oh, let's just do an extra movie or two like how Warner Brothers was thinking before. He's like, all right, we need to pick someone who's going to stay here for 10 years, put them in this fucking contract. They're staying. And if they, but yeah, that is pretty much all right. I don't want to go too long because I can go on for a while. Like I said, I want to keep it short and sweet. But long story short, I have hope. I really do have hope. I think it's going to be a rough start at the moment, but once January comes around next year, we're going to see a lot of light at the end of this tunnel right now.